All right, today's video takes place in Tuckahoe, New York. Well, I'm not sure this is Tuckahoe, New York. Well, we're going to find out. Film locations from Maude right after this.
Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody I'd rather waste time with than you.
All right, here we are in Tuckahoe, New York. It doesn't look like New York. Actually, this is a video that was, I would say, one of the most requested, especially after I did All in the Family. After the All in the Family video, everyone said, what about Maude? They should have said, then there's Maude. But they said, what about Maude? TV show Maude. I remember Maude. I was young. I wasn't really a fan. I saw some episodes in reruns later. And of course, I do remember it's an all-star cast of TV names. But anyway, Maude. Maude ran from 1972 to 1978. So I definitely didn't watch it first run. Ran for 6 seasons. Now, in the credits, the opening shot, the camera sort of pans along these houses. Let's point out, we're in California. We're about 10 miles from Ontario, California. This is not Tuckahoe, New York. A lot of people remember the theme song. And Then There's Maude, sang by Donny Hathaway. Donny Hathaway is a legendary R&B singer, had many amazing collaborations. Try to list some of those. But he tragically was a paranoid schizophrenic, and at the age of 33, jumped from the Essex House in New York City. Now that was really in New York City. Sorry to bring up something so depressing as we get to the Maude house, but here it is. And you don't see much. You see this one side shot, and then you see the doorway as you get closer. Now, of course, as I said, it was a spin-off from All in the Family, and Maude was on 2 episodes of All in the Family. She was Edith's favorite cousin, and disturbed these people, but across the street, I think, to get a shot. But that's the house, and I like to shoot from across the street, or film from across the street. Watch my terms. It looks nice, and I don't know if Tuckahoe, New York would have looked like this. I like to stand across the street. Try to respect people's privacy as much as they can. Now this house, now let's give away all their privacy. This is a 5-bedroom house, 3 baths. It's almost 3,000 square feet. Right now, the estimate value of this house is $561,000, which is interesting because in 2018 is the last time it sold, and it sold for $1.2 million. It's not on the market. I think this house would be worth more than $500,000. We're not in Hollywood, but still. Anyway, Maude, again, ran from 1972 to 1978. This house is supposed to be Tuckahoe, New York. Now, when you watch the credits, and you see them kind of panning up this way, and then you see them zoom in on the door, which we'll do before it's over, you see stock footage of New York City, the George Washington Bridge, the West Side Highway, the New York skyline. You see a lot of that. And then obviously they cut to here. Say it every episode, I'll say it again. What location scout decided 10 minutes from Ontario that here's the house that's going to be Tuckahoe, New York? I have no idea. Not too far from here is also the Eastland School for Girls, Pomona College, where they filmed The Facts of Life. That at least they needed a school. No idea why Norman Lear or whoever was involved picked this house. Maude was a Norman Lear show. One of the things about Maude that maybe as a kid I didn't get was so serious. They dealt with topical issues, and Maude was the opposite of Archie Bunker. If Archie Bunker was a conservative, well, there was no bigger bra burner or liberal than Maude. Maude lived here with her husband, Walter, who was played by Bill Macy, and but the show dealt with heavy issues. Bill Macy would have nervous breakdowns and alcohol issues. It was drug issues. They dealt with real issues on the show. Their daughter, played by the legendary Adrienne Barbeau. Adrienne Barbeau played Carol. We know her better from John Carpenter movies. Of course, Adrienne Barbeau, The Fog, Escape from New York, and listen, Swamp Thing. Not a John Carpenter movie, but a classic. So she played Carol, and then Next Door Neighbors, were Conrad Bain and Rue McClanahan. I don't know if they lived on that side. Well, there is no side over here. So let's say they lived right here. Conrad Bain is better known for being Mr. Drummond on Different Strokes. At least that's what I choose to remember him from. And Rue McClanahan was Blanche on Golden Girls. What's funny, co-starring obviously with B. Arthur, who played Maude. I don't know if we even said B. Arthur's name yet. You basically had Dorothy and Blanche before, long before the Golden Girls. Now, one of the most controversial episodes, and a lot of markets preempted it, didn't show it, was Maude dealing with abortion. When the show was on, the Roe versus Wade decision, it was right before it was made. It was made while Maude was on the air. Crazy to think that it's been overturned. I won't get into political things, but how crazy at the time. So on the show, Maude is 47 years old and she gets pregnant. And her and her husband, Walter, they decide that they can't keep a child, that they're too old to have a child, it's not safe to have a child, all the things that go with it. And they decide to have an abortion. This is so controversial at the time. And one of the things that I find most shocking about it, big Maude fans going by, one of the things that's most shocking about that episode is not necessarily the social issues, but that B. Arthur was only 47. Because I hate to sound like an ageist, because I'm older than that. But I never thought she was 47. There's certain people who always looked old. The Golden Girls always looked old to me. And what's funny is when they were on the Golden Girls, they weren't ancient. Sophia of the Golden Girls was actually younger than the other ladies. She played the oldest, she played the mother, but she was younger than the person she played the mother of. Anyway, a little Golden Girls tie-in, because look, B. Arthur would certainly be known for her role as Dorothy on the Golden Girls. And all right, let's see here. So let's recap. Oh, you know what? We forgot housekeeper Esther Rawl, Florida Evans. Well, Good Times becomes a spin-off of this show, another Norman Lear show. So you start with Archie Bunker. Maude makes 2 appearances. She gets her own spin-off. Then Esther Rawl, for the first few seasons, is the housekeeper, and eventually gets her spin-off, heads to Chicago with her family, the Evans family, and starts Good Times. Crazy. It's hard to remember how many shows are tied together, but they are, and especially in the Norman Lear universe, if you will. So she... the Norman Lear universe of TV shows, how many are related. So there were 6 seasons of Maude. They were talking about coming back for a 7th season, and they wanted to change the show. They're going to write out a lot of the cast members, and one of the endings of the show had Maude working for a politician and campaigning and campaign managing, and that politician died in their home. And one of the things was that Maude and Bill Macy, Walter, they moved to Washington. So it's kind of interesting, but B. Arthur told the media that she was going to leave the show after the 6th season. But a lot of people said that they knew there was no 7th season. They were sort of letting her save face by saying that. So in those opening credits, you come along these houses. None of these houses look like what they're supposed to match up with in New York. But it comes along here, and you see this side view of the house. It still looks pretty similar. You see that, and of course that top right there, you can recognize it anywhere. And it comes up here. In the end credits, we go past the house down this way. And just before we do that, I'm going to show the door credits. All it does is go in just like that. It's not a lot, few seconds, but it becomes TV history. The house from Maude. Imagine that the owners know that they live in the house from Maude. Gotta. But I can't imagine that many people come by to do videos. I don't know if there is another location video about the house from Maude. Anyway, did you guys like this video? I'm going to walk off just like the end credits this way. Did you guys enjoy this video? Were you fans of Maude? Tell me if you had a favorite episode, favorite character on the show, and mainly, most importantly, tell me where I should go next for locations. What is a TV show that you haven't seen me do yet? Because it started as just a fun project. Facts of Life was one of the first ones. And actually, Alice was the first location I went to. And then this has become a thing. And I'm really looking forward to preserving television history, showing you what we can. A lot of houses from TV shows have been demolished. A lot of the ones you're asking for are no longer there. I'm hoping that we can document as many as we can while we can. So, want to help this series of classic TV show filming locations? Well, there's a few things you can do. You can like the video. That's easy. And that's free. All you got to do is hit like. Then you can comment. That's also free. And all you have to do is tell me something about Maude or classic TV shows or filming locations. Let's have a little engagement. And then last is subscribe. You know what's funny? Also free. And supports this channel so we can continue to do more. Not every day. I'm out here in Ontario, California, and I don't think I'll be back, but you never know. 10 miles from Ontario. I appreciate everyone watching the filming location for Maude, and I hope I'll see you again at the next TV location.